We Bare Bears is a show on Cartoon Network, and I'm gonna say quite possibly my least favorite currently running show on Cartoon Network. And before you ask, yes, I'm considering shows like Teen Titans Go and Total Daycare better than this show. I know it's a bit of a stretch, but I'll be explaining why I kinda hate this show. I've been watching this show off and on basically since it came out. I was fine with it for the longest time, but some kind of distaste for it just built up in the back of my mind after every episode I watched, until it finally got to the point that I'm making this video. It's a lot harder to write videos about things I don't like. The script for my Why I Dislike Undertale video went through 4 or 5 rewrites before I was able to voice my thoughts properly. I'm going to try my best to write this video properly the first time. I've thought this through for weeks, and I think I know how to voice myself properly. Let's start out like any other review. We Bare Bears is about 2 bears and a panda trying to live in a normal human society. Yeah, I'm gonna be that guy who points out that pandas aren't bears. Wait, what? They are bears now? Does that mean Pluto's a planet again? What? I guess my whole life is a lie then. Why was I told that pandas aren't bears for so long? I have to reevaluate myself, but that can wait. So We Bare Bears is about 3 bears living in San Francisco of all places. They do normal human stuff though, in normal human society, and everyone just accepts it. Nobody freaks out when 3 huge bears just walk into a restaurant. But there are other animals that don't do human things or even talk. There's some kind of conspiracy or class divide going on in the animal kingdom, but that's not for this video. On paper, this could be the most charming show you've ever watched. 3 adorable bears going on regular slice-of-life adventures. But that's not the case, because none of the characters in the show are adorable. When you're making a slice-of-life show, you absolutely need to have interesting, well-written characters. Your characters are literally your entire show. The 3 main characters might as well be one-dimensional background characters, and each of their personalities can be described in just a few words. Grizz is a douchebag dude bro jock, Panda is a weeaboo, Ice Bear is quiet and mysterious. These are the shallowest main characters I've ever seen in a slice of life show. Compare them to some main characters in a different slice of life show, and for this example I'm gonna use My Little Pony. This show has 6 main characters that are all written to have their own motives and emotions. An example I'm going to use is, Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo, Applejack. Of course you can describe Applejack with a few words. Pony who works on the farm. But she's way more than that. She has motives, she values her friends and family above all. She does everything she can to keep her farm running, which is what supports her family. Even with this, she's still stubborn, competitive, can get tunnel vision on one issue. This character has real strengths and flaws, and she's written like a real person, who someone could actually relate to. And then Panda's a weeaboo. That's it. And he has a phone. That's not a personality trait. He doesn't have any motives, no driving influences in his life. He has no strengths or flaws. You can't see inside this character's mind. You can't imagine what he's thinking. This character isn't a real person. He's a shell, a puppet to whoever wrote this episode. The side characters are even worse. If the main characters are one-dimensional, the side characters are zero-dimensional. They have one trait and that's it. Most of them are somehow douchebag. Nom Nom is just straight up douchebag. Charlie is creepy douchebag. Chloe is whiny child douchebag. The exception is Ranger Tabes, who is like the best recurring character in this whole show. She has personality, motives, emotions, ambitions. Same goes for the one-off background characters. For whatever reason, the characters that show up in one episode and never again are the most interesting characters in the whole show. What I'm getting from this is that the writers of the show definitely know how to write compelling characters. They've proven that. They could have done that for the main and side characters, but they didn't. The only reason I can possibly imagine for this happening is laziness. This show has lazy writing, which moves me on to my next topic. Lazy writers write boring stories, and let me tell you, is this show boring. I think it's actually a result of the characters being boring. Take the plot from any episode in this show, make it into an episode of SpongeBob, and you've got something golden. Well, I can't say that about every episode since there are a lot of mundane stories in the show. Panda sneezes and it becomes a viral video. Riveting. The stories that are good are ruined by these characters though. A lot of the episodes involve them getting into some kind of absurd situations, but they make it boring each time. You know exactly how they're going to react, exactly what they're going to say every time something happens. Maybe it was cool the first time, but once you've watched a couple of episodes, it gets old. I said at the beginning of this video that I thought Teen Titans Go of all shows was better than We Bare Bears. I'd go as far to say that it's leaps and bounds ahead of We Bare Bears. My justification is that it's appealing. Not to me specifically, but it's obviously appealing to someone. Kids. Kids watch it. I know kids watch it. I work at an elementary school and I see kids wearing Teen Titans Go shirts. But I don't see kids wearing We Bare Bear shirts, and I think I know why. What colors do you think kids would rather look at for 11 minutes? The answer should be obvious. Brighter colors grab and hold kids' attention really well. We Bare Bears might as well be in black and white. The colors are so drab and faded that you might as well watch a live action show. You have all this freedom to use whatever color you want when you make a cartoon, and We Bare Bears decided to use the Photoshop eyedropper tool on the actual San Francisco Zoo. I've never thought of this being this big of a problem watching other cartoons. Everything else I've watched had really good color choices, or if it did use a drab color palette, it was at least stylized so the colors fit. I'm looking at you, Boondocks. You did good. Good stuff. But We Bare Bears doesn't have any color or style. This show is like baby's first cartoon series. The character designs use the infamous CalArt style, which everyone is sick of. Side note, don't assume my thoughts about the CalArt style just yet. I actually want to make a full video about it sometime. The backgrounds in the show are also like traces of photos from actual San Francisco. All the human characters have the same face and body shape, so what I'm basically trying to say is that absolutely no artistic license was used when designing this show. My biggest question that has been sitting in my mind the entire time I was writing this video: why hasn't this show gotten cancelled yet? It's not good, kids don't like it as much as Teen Titans Go, it probably doesn't make Cartoon Network much money. Why is it still around? The episodes must be really cheap to make, because that's the only reason I can think of right now. So, of course, would I recommend this show? No, not to anyone. I don't know a single person who would enjoy this show enough that I'd actually go tell them to watch it. You know what, I'm gonna actively encourage people not to watch this show. Don't boost its ratings, let it die so we can make more room for newer, better shows on Cartoon Network. Victor and Valentino is actually really promising so far, and I'm sure Infinity Train will be fantastic. Cartoon Network needs an Adventure Time and regular show for a new generation, and we need room for them to exist. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, make sure to hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more cartoon reviews, movie and show discussion, or miscellaneous ranting. Thanks everyone for watching.